quick look at how this newsletter template from Microsoft renders in 4 different options that are available to us on the Linux desktop. I'm going to look at Microsoft Word running by crossover. I'll look at LibreOffice, WPS Office, and OnlyOffice. This is Ubuntu 24.04 in the GNOME Wayland session. I've got multiple monitors, so I'm working not off my main monitor, but on a basically 1080p monitor, and it's the Wayland session as well, AMD graphics if that's relevant. So this is I've downloaded the template from here. In terms of how it looks, the reference might be to open it in Word first and see what it looks like in Word, which is opened on my main monitor. Okay, so this template is 4 pages. Now this is crossover the beta of, I think, is it 25, which is Wine 10, supporting Wine 10, which means Wayland is working. This seems to be in a native Wayland window because I've got smooth scrolling from my Apple trackpad, which is new. Never had it before. Very nice. But that's not what we're here for. 4 pages is what we expect, and of course this is what we get with Microsoft Word. Okay, so that's the reference. Let me just move that to the screen. Now, next, let's look at WPS. Four pages, it's perfect. It always is with WPS Office. They have had remarkable fidelity for MS Office formats. It's so good, I basically use this instead of MS Office, actually. It's good enough to render complex mail merge documents where placement has to be millimeter perfect. Now I have Linux fonts installed, Windows fonts installed on my Linux desktop, so that might help as well, but that's available to all 4 programs here. I can see there's a warning that some font is missing. Oh, that's the Chinese font. This wouldn't be in the document. At the moment I'm experimenting with the Chinese version of WPS Office. So this is downloaded from the .cn site. It's a version number more recent than the one from the Singapore site, which is the one you'll easily find with Google if you look for WPS Office. It's a .deb or .rpm install. It's not open source, but it's free for Linux users. The Chinese version has a higher version number, but I really don't see much difference. And in terms of rendering of documents, it's fine. I'd go with the Singapore version. Okay, so that's WPS Office. Let's have a look at open with, and let's open it with LibreOffice. This is the biggest surprise for me because it's done a fantastic job. LibreOffice used to completely fail to cope with complex layouts. Stuff would go everywhere. You'd end up with too many pages, and carefully positioned text boxes and columns would render ridiculously badly. Boy, that's certainly in the past. This is perfect. Now, all these grey areas that you see here, they don't print. They're just highlighting paragraphs with special formats, or they might be mail merge fields in some way. So that's just the settings that are activated by default in my LibreOffice that highlights paragraphs which got some kind of special formatting involved, but it doesn't render. In fact, I made a PDF of this document from LibreOffice, and you can see that those grey blocks are not here. So, biggest surprise for me, LibreOffice, great job. Now, the fourth one is OnlyOffice. Fourth place, because it doesn't really do a very good job. We end up with 6 pages because there's too much space here, and it's pushed page 2 onto another page. And the same thing happened on page 4. So we end up with 6 pages, including 2 basically blank pages in this document. It's not bad. I mean, it's recognizable what it is, but you couldn't use this as the newsletter. You'd have to go and fix those formatting errors. So I'm going to say, in terms of fidelity, equal first place to MS Word, the 32-bit version running via Crossover, WPS Office, and LibreOffice, with the biggest surprise being LibreOffice. Now, on those 3, MS Office is the most expensive option, and it can be a real nuisance to install. If the installation process works, it takes only a few minutes, but sometimes Crossover has trouble with the registration step. I'm laughing because after doing all the work of getting MS Office to run properly, it's really frustrating that the dialogues to enter your password just don't work. Hopefully they'll fix that before Crossover goes out of beta. But it isn't, even though the installation process is tricky, is easy, you still have to get the download, which means you have to use it. You have to convince Microsoft you're using Windows. You can do that from a Windows VM, or I suppose you can spoof your browser. It launches a little bit more slowly, and although Wine does a really, really good job, there are still usability issues with it. It maximizes strangely from time to time, and it's a bit slow to launch, and it's not the greatest experience in the world, but once it's up and running, it's obviously 100% the most accurate. But so is WPS Office. It's so precise and so close to MS Office. It doesn't give me any concerns, even with printing documents which require absolute precision in the layout. It does a good job, and it's very easy to install. It's a .deb or .rpm. It's $0, but it's not open source. Everyone's favorite package in terms of that would be LibreOffice, because it is open source. It's a community product, and in some ways it's better than MS Office, certainly with the spreadsheet, where it has much better regular expression support. But it used to not perform very well with complex documents, so I was really impressed that it handled this one quite well. And then we have OnlyOffice, which is, every time I've looked at it, and most of my concern is with spreadsheets, it's been the worst performing. It's the slowest, it crashes much more often, it lacks features, and it lacks accuracy. I still don't know why anyone would use it really when we've got LibreOffice, which is also open source and does a better job. If you want the best solution for handling MS Office and Linux desktop, it's WPS Office. Has been for years, still is. But I have to say LibreOffice is, on this test, closed the gap enormously. I mean, I couldn't even see a gap. It performed the same. I probably want to try some more complex documents to really fully give it equal first place. But based on the test of this one template, in the past, it would clearly not have coped, and I can't see a mistake in LibreOffice. So huge congratulations to all the people who have been working on the LibreOffice MS Office format converters, because it's looking very good.